All right, historians, so if I were going to break down this prompt like it was a RST, my first step is to look for the question that I need to answer in the prompt. So as I'm reading, I'm looking for that. According to what you have read about the use of school uniforms, do you believe that schools should have uniforms? Okay, so I found the question that I need to answer. So I'm coding for that. I'm going to continue to read to look for anything else that the essay needs me to include in it in order to earn a high score. Consider the arguments that these four sources present and their observations about the benefits and drawbacks of uniforms. Write an argumentative piece if you believe that schools should have uniforms or not, and support your position with evidence from at least 3 of the 4 sources. Okay, so there's a couple things in this that I want to highlight in this last sentence. First of all, I've figured out that this essay is an argumentative essay. So that means that I'm going to have to argue one side or another. And I also noticed that I have to use at least 3 of the 4 sources in order to get a complete score. Be sure to acknowledge competing views. Okay, so another thing that I need to do in this essay is I need to look at competing views. If you remember from our classes last week, a competing view kind of sounds like the opposite of what you may be arguing in your essay, and we know that the opposite of your claim is called a counterclaim. So I need to address the counterclaim in this essay. You may give examples from past and current events or issues to illustrate and clarify your position. You may refer to the sources by their titles, source A, B, C, and D. Okay, so now that I have coded for everything that I need to do in my essay to get full points, my next step is going to be to go to my planning sheet and just write the question at the very top of that page, so that even if I forget in the moment as I'm reading what I'm supposed to be answering, I have that question at the very top. After that, after I've read through the sources and I've figured out, what side of the argument I want to be on, my next step would be my thesis statement. In my thesis statement, I want to keep it in third-person point of view. I want to do that for the entire essay. And I want to use the question to start off my sentence. So I would say, schools, let's say I don't agree that they should. So schools should not have uniforms. So I just use part of the question to do that. And then your thesis statement is complete once you have 2 reasons why. So my first reason why is because let's say they limit student expression. So after I read the sources, I found sources that would relate to this idea, and I can use them to prove that. And my second reason for my thesis is that they do not positively impact students' academic work. And again, these would be answers that I can easily defend using the sources in the packet. And so, because my thesis is in third-person point of view, it used the question to start it off, and it has 2 specific answers to the question. I am now ready to actually work on my body paragraphs and finish my essay.